What's up, guys? Mike the Cop. According to YouTube, my stream health is terrible. So, we'll see. I guess if this stream survives. I'm not exactly sure. I've got this janky tech setup. So if you're just seeing this, whether you're live, whether you're not live, stick around. I think the information is going to be valuable or engaging whether you've seen this live or not. Now I see people coming into the comments. So hey, welcome guys, everybody. Yes, the Hands Up Act. That's what we were going to talk about. Giddy up. All right, I don't want to waste a ton of time. It's going to be very difficult with the way that I have this setup going on my laptop at the kitchen table right now to interact a ton in the comments. If there are super chats or anything like that, I will try to get to them, but I'm not going to always be seeing the comments. So I apologize if I miss you. I'm not trying to do that with this. So what I'm planning on doing here is telling you a little bit of a background on how I encountered this, and we're going to look at this together. All right. So this morning I woke up and there is someone who has been connected to with a few of the guys that are involved with humanizing the badge. Marlon Webb. He's an actor, social media guy on the interwebs, and he has done videos with Officer Daniels and 911 Strong. Seems to have been pretty common sense up to this point about police stuff. But this morning, I saw on his Instagram account, he was linking to this petition for the Hands Up Act. And he titled his story, like his little caption was, "Police brutality is a disease in this country. So we need to do something about it," right? So I clicked on the link and I looked at the petition. So what I want to do is just go through it with you and examine the merits of the petition together. So I will slide this over, and the real question is can you guys, how that looks? Hopefully it looks okay. Now this is the part where I'm going to lose you because I can't see any comments. I can't follow up. I'm just going to scroll. So I'm hoping this works, and we'll take it from there. All right. So let's start, first of all, with something that is never actually mentioned in the writing that this Travis Washington does in his petition, but he says this is the Hands Up Act. I'm assuming this is Travis here. It could be somebody else. I don't know what Travis looks like. But obviously an African-American male with his hands up. And the whole concept of hands up is a reference, obviously, to the Ferguson, Missouri, Michael Brown shooting. What we all know is that in the wake of that, someone lied and said he had his hands up. It wasn't true, saying hands up, don't shoot. And we had Congress people, we had movie stars, professional athletes all doing the hands up thing. And it was a lie. It was straight up a lie. So right off the bat, I'm a little bit concerned that the Hands Up Act is named after a known lie. This isn't like debatable. It's not up for dispute. The hands up, don't shoot was a verified lie. So when you name a petition after a known falsehood, it's pretty baffling why anyone would want to follow along after that. But I go through here, and I'm just going to read this and whatever. My name is Travis Washington. I'll be graduating with an MA degree in higher education and administration from Southern Illinois University, Carbondale in May 2019. I've been politically involved from registering people to vote to work in the Springfield Capitol as an Alexander Lane Fellow, January to May 2017. We know how so many people of cultural minorities are in constant fear of leaving their household. I don't know. I don't really come across a lot of minorities that don't come out of their house because they're afraid. My experience. I'll leave that alone. This fear in our lives far too often comes from individuals working in public safety who harm people. Every single week, we hear about another unarmed, innocent, vulnerable human being being shot by the police. Let me read that again. Every single week, we hear about another unarmed, innocent, vulnerable human being being shot by the police. Now, I'm going to try to switch over to some comments here because I'm going to talk about that for a little bit. All right. Let me pull this up. This is crazy, okay? Because, first of all, the number of unarmed people shot by the police is an extreme minority. Extreme minority. Then they're saying innocent and vulnerable. So when you break down the number of unarmed plus determined to be innocent, you simply don't hear about that every week. It's a lie. It's not true. Andrew Elson with some super chats. Thank you. It is a blatant falsehood. Now, there are those who perpetuate these narratives, like Sean King, who my perception of Sean King, and this is a perception, is all about perpetuating a false narrative for the purpose of furthering his own power and position and influence. He knows what he's doing. I think he knows the facts. I think he just ignores them or distorts them for his own advantage. But there are others like this Travis Washington, who I don't know. Where is he getting this influence? Is he just hearing something and believing it? Is this what is tolerated in our higher education? He says he's getting his master's degree, Master of Arts degree, and he can't even fact check something like this? It's crazy to me. Have cops ever killed an innocent person? Yes. Do they every week kill unarmed innocent people? No, they don't. It is so statistically rare. Go back and watch my video, recent one, 5 things that are more likely to kill you than the police. It is so statistically rare. People should be much more afraid to get in a car than to leave their home for fear of public servants, public safety officials. This idea is getting so worn out, it's beyond me how anyone with half a brain can objectively look at this information and come up to any other conclusion. It's nuts. Guns Russ, thank you very much. So add to that I've also done content in the past, unarmed doesn't equal not dangerous. The department that I first was hired at out of the academy, they lost an officer to an unarmed juvenile. Unarmed juvenile. And he lost his service weapon and was shot and killed with it. So what's the disconnect here? How many times have officers been accosted by an unarmed person and ultimately their lives have been threatened or lost? Unarmed does not equal not dangerous or not capable of being dangerous. Okay? Thank you, Zach. I appreciate that. And thank you to Guns. If I didn't say thank you, appreciate it. So we find ourselves in this crazy position. It's so nuts to me that someone can name a petition after a lie and then include lies on lies in it in order to drive people to this. Okay, so I forget which hotkey I'm supposed to use. Boom, that's it. Okay. So he says this has caused, if you're keeping up, this has caused increased the trauma. So here we have a person who's getting their master's degree, who wants to speak before Congress and says this has caused increased the trauma. Really? All right. It's crazy to me. All right. We it's come on. I mean, I'm not the grammar Nazi, but dude, you're bragging about your degree and wanting to speak before Congress, and you can't form a sentence, and you can't put in facts. We need legislation now that prohibits police officers from shooting unarmed citizens. As if the law just allows cops to just shoot unarmed people. As if that's it. Like there's a preference to shoot unarmed versus armed people. I mean, what kind of language is this? Legislation that prohibits police officers from shooting unarmed citizens. What counts as unarmed? What if they have a slingshot? What if they have a BB gun? What is that? Because they're not real weapons, as dangerous as you think they are? Or what if they pretend to be armed? What if they do what the guy in New York did and pretend to have a gun and it's a shower head and people all believe it to be a gun and then he's shot? Then what happens? That officer's at fault because that guy was terrorizing people and posing to have a gun? Yeah, this will help. If there isn't a weapon found after someone has been shot, therefore unarmed, thank you for that, by a police officer, then I propose that the officer should receive a mandatory 15-year prison sentence. We have seen over and over police officers get off, even with the videotape footage of citizens having been shot by police officers. This is a new form of lynching. A new form of lynching. Guys, you can't make this stuff up. You know, you just can't make this stuff up. Pappy, Ross, thank you. I hope you are making this video for the people that actually want to better their community. Others just simply hate authority because it's cool. I don't know what that means. Okay. So we're left in this position where the petition is to get laws passed that if someone is a threat to the police officer and is shot and they don't have a weapon on them, that the police officer automatically has a mandatory 15-year sentence. That is impractical. It is not justifiable. It is certainly not legal or sensible. So, anyway, so I had to rant a little bit about that. And Marlon, Webb, if you happen to see this, buddy, I hope you sit down to coffee or lunch with somebody that you're in connection with in the law enforcement community to point these things out to you. Some people, I think, are just so cognitively dissonant that they... My dog's going to bark in a second. Nope. They're so cognitively dissonant that they refuse to hear the objective information on the other side. So, anyway, that's my rant about the Hands Up Act. We've been going for 13 minutes, so if you didn't catch this live, hopefully it's not too long that you won't hang in there and listen to a little bit of it. I don't even know that I need to comment much further. It's literally just lay it out on the table and look at it for the nonsense that it is. I mean, the statistics for crimes in inner cities is not at all reconciled with police brutality. The disease is person-on-person crime. That's the disease. A person-on-person crime that the police have to respond to. Address that problem, which is so much more massive. I mean, statistically massive in comparison to police brutality. Where police officers overreach, where police officers are corrupt, where police officers are racist, where they are violent in a way that is unjustifiable, it should be dealt with. It should not be tolerated. It should be discouraged. We should seek to weed those out as best as we possibly can from a professional level. But the idea that the Hands Up petition is anything valid to get behind is asinine. Okay, good.